Hello everyone, this is Vietnam True Crime. Today, we will delve into a horrifying case that shook the city of Hue on June 7, 2025. A man, driven by personal conflicts after his divorce, brutally attacked his ex-wife's family, leaving 2 people dead and 1 seriously injured. This was not only a family tragedy, but also a story that exposes the hidden corners of human psychology and profound social issues. Let us analyze this case together, from its background and events to the painful lessons it has left behind. The story begins in the early morning of June 7, 2025, at a house located in a small alley on Van Cao Street, Xuan Phu Ward, Tuan Hoa District, Hue City. This was the residence of Ms. Tran T. Kim Chi, 31 years old, who lived with her mother, Mrs. Nguyen T. Chin, 53 years old, and her younger brother, Mr. Tran Herp, 21 years old. What seemed like an ordinary day suddenly turned into a nightmare when 33-year-old Phan Van Pu, Ms. Chi's ex-husband, appeared at the house. Pu came with the intention of asking permission to take his and Ms. Chi's child to visit his paternal family, as he was preparing to leave Hue for work in the north. However, Ms. Chi refused his request. The exact reason for her refusal remains unclear. Yet according to the court's ruling in 2024, Ms. Chi had custody rights, while Pu was allowed visitation. From this moment, everything quickly escalated into an irreversible tragedy.
In a fit of rage, Fu pulled out a knife and attacked the 3 people inside the house. His blows were aimed at the victims' necks and abdomens, leaving behind a blood-soaked scene described as horrifying. Miss Chi and her mother, Mrs. Chin, died from their severe injuries. Mr. Chun Harp, though gravely wounded, was rushed by neighbors and authorities to Hue Central Hospital. After intensive efforts, doctors managed to save his life, and he was declared out of critical condition the following day. What shocked the public even more was Fu's behavior after committing the crime. He left the scene with chilling calmness. When a passerby asked about the blood on his clothes, he casually replied that he had just killed people. Not long after, he walked into the Xuan Phu Ward police station and surrendered. This action leaves us questioning, was this a moment of lucidity or merely the outburst of a mind pushed beyond its limits? To better understand the roots of this case, let's return to its background. Fu and Miss Chi married in 2019 and had 1 child together. However, their marriage was plagued by problems, leading to divorce in 2024. The court granted custody of the child to Miss Chi, which became the core of their conflict. Fu told investigators that Miss Chi often prevented him from seeing their child, making him feel humiliated and powerless.
What makes this case even more chilling is that prior to the attack, Fu had threatened Ms. Chi, warning her to prepare 4 coffins for the whole family. This was not just a heated remark, but seemingly a clear sign of a premeditated act of revenge. Fu, who had worked as an auto mechanic, had lived in Quang Ninh and Thanh Hoa before returning to Hue on June 3. He had no prior criminal record and was described by neighbors as an ordinary man. So what drove someone like him to cross the moral boundary and become a murderer? Investigators conducted a rapid test and confirmed that Fu was negative for drugs and had no alcohol in his system at the time of the crime. This indicates that his actions stemmed entirely from uncontrolled emotions rather than the influence of stimulants. This detail forces us to look deeper into underlying causes, accumulated anger, feelings of rejection, and perhaps the absence of proper support systems for conflict resolution.
Now, let's pause to analyze the broader social issues this tragedy reveals. First, post-divorce disputes are common, yet often underestimated. Custody rights, visitation, and related disputes can push individuals into extreme stress if not managed properly. In the case of Fu and Ms. Chi, was there anyone who tried to mediate or support them through legal or psychological counseling? If there had been, could this tragedy have been prevented? Second, the threat of 4 coffins was a glaring sign of violent intent, yet it seems no one recognized its seriousness. This raises questions about the responsibility of family and community in identifying and intervening when clear warning signs appear. Lastly, this case reminds us of the importance of emotional regulation. Anger, if left unchecked, can lead to irreparable consequences. At present, the Hue City Police Investigation Agency continues to handle the case. Fu has been prosecuted and now faces severe charges of murder. Under Vietnam's penal code, Phan Van Phu's actions fall under Article 123, which defines the crime of murder. His act qualifies as killing multiple people, having a hooligan nature, and committing the crime cruelly, all aggravating factors.
Sentencing. Given these aggravating circumstances, Phan Van Phu may face the maximum penalty, death. Specifically, Clause 1, Article 123 of the Penal Code stipulates, "Anyone who commits murder under one of the following circumstances shall be sentenced to between 12 years and 20 years of imprisonment, life imprisonment, or death." Applicable aggravating circumstances in this case include Point A, Clause 1, murder of 2 or more people. Phu killed 2 people, his ex-wife and mother-in-law, and severely injured another. Point I, Clause 1, hooligan nature. His actions were carried out aggressively, disregarding the law and human life. Point C, Clause 1, cruelty. Phu stabbed the victims multiple times, showing the brutality of his behavior.
Legal considerations. Phu's surrender will be considered a mitigating factor, but it does not alter the nature of the especially serious crime he committed. However, the court may take it into account during sentencing. Currently, the case is still under investigation, and the court will deliver a final verdict based on evidence and testimony once the trial takes place. This case is not only about domestic violence, but also a stark warning. It reminds us that conflicts, no matter how small, can escalate into tragedy if not resolved in time. It also calls for stronger social support, from legal and psychological counseling to family and community intervention to prevent similar tragedies in the future. That concludes the story of the Ho case, a tragedy that leaves behind many painful lessons. If you have thoughts or wish to share your perspective on this case, please reach out to us via email or social media. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to follow real crime cases happening in Vietnam.